hear me? There we go. There we go. All right, let me mute this actually. All right, I'm back.
Do I still sound fine?
So what? Yeah, you sound fine, Ron. You sound fine. We are live streaming. This is What's the Line podcast, Super Bowl prop episode, 4th annual, might I add. I try to do some big things, but vacay got a little in the way. What can I do? I'm only human. But all right. I sent out the sheet with some props, some interesting props, not too long ago. So I know maybe Omatic will pull that up. I don't know about you, Rome, but once again, we're live. What's the Line podcast? Haven't started just yet. But getting the feel. How you guys feeling, man? It's the end of the season. This is it, baby. This is it. I don't bother you guys till March. I mean, not March, August. I don't know where I got March from.
Well, we do get it in March, but I'm feeling good, man. What do you guys think? I think we had, like, the best season ever for us.
I think it was definitely a really good season collectively. Me personally, I didn't do as great as I think I usually do. So, but I track all my bets, so I'll see maybe in a week or so. When I do my taxes, I might do that. But yeah. Once again, What's the Line podcast, week 22 Super Bowl prop episode. All right, let me see. We're good. All right, let's get it started, gentlemen. I ain't gonna take too much of you guys' time because I'm gonna do a little NBA at the back end of this, but it's the 4th annual, so let's get it in. What's the Line podcast? And we got to do it. Give me 1 second. All right, and we're back. Annie Up Consulting presents What's the Line podcast, week 22 Super Bowl prop episode. Usually, gentlemen. Usually our highest rated episode or highest listened to. So let's do some great things. And then the future. I got a lot of things planned for the 5th annual. I got great things planned for the 5th annual. But we're here. What's the Line podcast, Super Bowl prop episode, 4th annual. Start with you, Soundman, back again. How you feeling this Super Bowl week?
Feeling good. Feeling good, man. It's been like you said, it's been a long year. Came a long way. Let's finish out strong, man. Had a weird season with football personally, but here we are, man. Let's just finish it off. A big game. What did you say, 22 weeks? Something like that. Here we are. You know what I mean? Let's finish it off strong.
Week 22, deuce. I love the double digits. It's always been my thing. Rome, how you feeling, my guy? Off camera today, but here once again, Super Bowl prop episode, 4th annual.
Yeah, I'm ready to go, man. We've had a good year this year. I mean, they had week 1 Giants +5 at the Titans. I mean, it's just been wire to wire.
Wow, Rome is going rogue. We can't hear you, Rome. What's going on?
That gas station Wi-Fi.
Over now.
This guy, Rome.
Yeah, I just said we had a good year this year, man. I'm looking forward to next year. Wire to wire this year, we were pretty consistent. So looking forward to obviously this weekend and then next year.
All right, that's Rome. Now Rome did really good this season, pretty accurate, pretty sharp. Always played your best bet. So kudos to Rome. Papa Keese as well is pretty sharp. That middle of that season, right before kind of like the birthday, all that, all that takes place. But yeah, so shout out to you guys, been sharp. And we know the prop god has been pretty money. Not usually on the podcast, but definitely in the Discord. So kudos to him as well. And all you guys participating. I mean, Mike Curry, Jordan, I definitely tried to get it in this season with the pods. We're going to do the same next. But I just wanted to give kudos to everybody before we get it in. But yeah, gentlemen, we are here. It is the Super Bowl. The Chiefs are playing the Philadelphia Eagles. The spread right now is the Eagles favored by 1.5. Seeing a total of 51. Let me give you guys some stats. Well, Andy Reid, all three of his games in the Super Bowl have gone under the total. So I did want to note that. Also want to note out of the 56 Super Bowls that have been played, 46 of the Super Bowls that have been won, the team that has the higher rated defense. So let me say that again. The higher rated defense in the Super Bowl has won 46 out of the 56 games. So I did want to note that. But yeah, Sound Man, talk to me. How you feeling about this game and this total Super Bowl? We're here.
Yeah, I really don't have too much for the Super Bowl. I'll start by saying we were talking about, the years that we've had this year. And I just didn't have the best of years this year. I usually am an underdog type of guy. And I just wasn't the best with them this year. And here we go again. Me liking the underdog in the situation, being the Chiefs. Obviously, I'm not rooting for the team in my division, being the Eagles. I feel like all year I've been on this podcast and many other platforms just saying that, I don't believe in the Eagles as the best team, or the front runners or whatever you may have it. And here they are here in the Super Bowl, and they're the favorites. And, so this would seem like, the typical time where I would fade, the favorite, and I would be backing the underdog here in the Chiefs that have been to, the Super Bowl 3 times in the last, 5 or 6 years. I don't know, something like that, something crazy like that. So I don't know, man. Like, I want to back the Chiefs here because I do not want the Eagles to win. Like, obviously NFC East bias here. But I've been terribly wrong in these situations. I think it's the Eagles' year at this point. I think it's destiny for them. I said that. Get a cakewalk with the Giants and Purdy just goes out, but it just seems destiny for them. It just seems like whatever, will happen on Sunday will probably be in their favor. So I'm gonna like the Eagles here to win the game. I mean, the line is 1.5. I don't think, they're gonna probably win the game to me, like by a field goal, win the game here. But I would love to be wrong. This is me just trying to be like, let me go the opposite way that I want the result to be, so it could possibly be the result that I ultimately wanted to be. So, I like the Eagles to win here more
What
so.
in the hell?
I like them more so to win here for, my vibes. I think it's destiny for the Eagles this year. And I'm just gonna have to sulk in them winning their second chip in their history in the last 5 years as an NFC East opponent for them. So, go Eagles here. People are gonna ride in the streets of Philly. Have fun. Go Eagles, man. I'm not gonna be too happy. I don't think on Sunday about 9-10 o'clock watching them win another Super Bowl, but whatever.
That is the fan, Sound Man, NFC East guy. Rome, how you feel about this game? Eagles laying 1.5 and the total 51.
Yeah, so this total opened pretty low for two teams that score pretty well, near 49 at most markets, but up to 51.5 some places now. I thought when the line was when it opened and it sat at 49 for a little bit, I thought that would be a good spot to pull the trigger on the under. But I think even now is a better time, obviously, getting 2 points of extra value. Before I get to the sides, I think the total on this one is an under game. We talk about Andy Reid in these big-time games. Oftentimes, they aren't pulling out the trick plays or gadget plays that necessarily are big type of plays. They're more so using them with short yardage. This is a team that likes to keep it close to the chest in these close games. That's why you often don't see that many points from Kansas City until the second half. And a lot of these close, big, playoff postseason type of games, it's usually because they try to control clock and be a little bit more methodical in the first half. And so I look for Reid to continue to do that here in this spot. I think, if they can get into halftime, 10-13, obviously getting those first drive jitters out. And then obviously we still have Patrick Mahomes on a banged up ankle. So I think that's going, kind of under the radar in terms of, his mobility and what he'll be able to do in terms of dynamic plays down the field. So look for, that kind of leans into, the Chiefs still wanting to run the ball, control clock, and kind of keep a conservative mindset offensively. Defensively, for the Eagles here, I think, they've looked really, really good in some spots. Okay, and there's other spots in which I haven't been so impressed with them. So I think, obviously an unfamiliar opponent in Andy Reid and the AFC team and the Chiefs. I just don't think this Eagles defense is as good as advertised, specifically on the back end. I think, if they can generate that pressure up front, and I think it's a different ball game in terms of what Patrick Mahomes will be able to do. But, on the back end, I think they're a little bit more susceptible than people tend to think. So, I'm not rushing to the counter now that I start to, transition to talk about the sides here. I'm not rushing to the counter to bet the Eagles here. There's really no way I can bet them. Line over 2.5. Eagles catching that 2.5. Now they're laying 1.5. That line cost 0 and is up to 1.5 within 28 minutes of it opening. And then obviously the public came in and smashed and liked that line movement. I just can't back, a team and specifically a coaching staff that just doesn't have much experience in the postseason. We talk about an Eagles team that lost outright last year, didn't cover the spread in Tampa. They come back this year, obviously on fire, but they've only had 2 playoff wins and one against a very familiar opponent in the Giants. So, I just don't think this team has been battle tested. Don't get me wrong, I definitely think they have the talent offensively. Hurts and Brown on the outside, and then obviously Smith. I think they'll be able to, make some plays, but obviously just a team that doesn't have that experience. What's Gannon going to do on 3rd and short, when Andy Reid pulls out something he hasn't seen? How are they going to defend Kelsey into the flats? Obviously they're going to be looking to target him. Who's going to be able to, kind of play on that back end for the Eagles, in a way that they'll be able to, stop the dynamic offense of the Chiefs. So I just can't get behind the Eagles right here, and it kind of just goes back to the defensive backfield. So, like I said, I'm not rushing to kind of bet the side, more so like the total here, but it would be Chiefs for me on the side.
Yeah, for me, I gotta like with the Eagles. I obviously wrong. I definitely think that's a great point. I mean, this is a team that's literally they played in 3 playoff games so far under head coach Nick Sirianni. None of them have been close.
Yep.
Blow out the Brady last year. They blow out the Giants. A few weeks ago, blow out the 49ers 2 weeks ago. So,
you kind of get the cheat with the 49ers. That was kind of a cakewalk. So. This team is really 1-1 under this coach in the postseason. If you kind of want to look at it that way.
Yeah. So I definitely think that that's a point that should be made. But this is a Philly team. I feel like I just got to back them here. Kansas City. What's incredible is, and I'll get to this prop later, but Mahomes just hasn't played that great in Super Bowls. We obviously know the lights are the brightest or whatever in the Super Bowls, but. He has about a 60 QBR in these Super Bowls, 65 or so. I think it was 71 against 49ers, about 50 something against those Bucks. So he doesn't, small sample size obviously, but he hasn't played great in these games, 1-1 in those 2 Super Bowls. So obviously this would be a big legacy win for him, but I just think the Philly, it really starts with this run game in Philly, right? This team that wants to run the ball is, I talked about it on Meticulous this past week. They have just such variations of running the ball. We saw 2 weeks ago where what's the kid's name? Gainwell comes in and starts to just really take the heart out of the 49ers, a different run style than Boobie Sanders, stuff like that. So this is a team that, Philly, I feel like they have such different ways of playing. They attack the weaknesses of the team that they're playing that specific week. And then also the Chiefs have been, extremely bad defensively in the red zone. So I feel like if Philly, gets to that, red zone part of the field, I feel like they could definitely convert and score touchdowns. I believe they were either top 3 or number 1 offense Philly was in the red zone this season. So,
top 5.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. For the Chiefs defensively, and then those 4th and 1. Also the Chiefs, right? 3rd and 1s, they're not great. They're awful on 3rd and 4th and 1s. I feel like that should be something to be talked about. But so I gotta go. I gotta like on the Eagles here. I think that they'll get it done. Yeah, Rome. O'Malley, talk to me.
Just got a question about game flow, right? We always see the Eagles get out to, early leads. Like, if we don't see them get out to an early lead on Sunday, are we still feeling confident about, the Eagles? Let's say they go down 14-3 or 10-3 or something like that. We haven't seen them come back, but only once, albeit against the Colts. I don't know how much we're giving the Colts as like a good football team, but here we are in the Super Bowl playing the Chiefs. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they go down, you know what I'm saying? Are we believing that they're gonna, just fight it out and like make it a game and possibly win the game? Like, is that anybody feel any way about that? Like, I mean, I feel like.
Well, I mean, I think going back to Pete's point, that run game specifically for Philly is going to have to be what kind of keeps them cool and collected in this ball game. And it kind of goes back to me talking about this under and why I like this under so much. Philly's going to want to come out and try to establish the ground. I think that's obviously what we see a lot of in these Super Bowls early on, trying to get the jitters out, giving the quick, easy balls to the quarterback. So look for a lot of RPO and stuff like that from Hurts, but also look for them to try to establish the ground game. And then, conversely on the Chiefs side, I think these two teams are going to try and come do the same thing, and it's going to be try to, establish the run game. Give me a quarter with no points on the board with two teams sucking around like that. We're looking at a tough second half and a close ball game for them to get up to 50 points.
Yep. I mean, I definitely lean towards the under, but P with the totals. You should probably go over then, right? I mean, I just educated Chiefs with the their red zone defense and the red zone offense for the Phillies. So I lean towards the under, but it can go either way. But I tried to look up, I couldn't not in time, but also MVPs, nobody's Patrick Mahomes, right? But MVPs haven't done that well in the Super Bowl. When we think about it, I mean, who won the MVP? I guess I don't really know who won last year. It was
Aaron Donald, wasn't it?
Back. But I mean, MVPs overall. I mean, I guess Peyton Manning. You could throw, a couple.
Cooper Kupp.
Right? Cooper Kupp didn't win the regular. I'm talking about the regular season MVP in Super Bowls. We know Cam.
Oh, okay.
That one year. Who else was an MVP? This is a tough one. I can't really think of the quarter. I mean, most quarterbacks are MVPs, however, right? So, but they don't do well necessarily in this spot. Brady in 2007. We obviously the undefeated team lost in the Super Bowl. So MVPs haven't done this well in the spot, and we know he's about to get that trophy pretty soon. Or we think for Patrick. He's a pretty heavy favorite. He's a pretty heavy favorite. So
Holmes or Hurts?
Yeah, he's gonna get it.
I think Mahomes is going to
getting it.
That's the consensus. I think Hurts should get it, right? But Mahomes, I think he's going to get it.
When is the announcement? Is it this Sunday? Saturday?
I think it's Saturday usually.
I mean, what do you guys think about these two in this ball game specifically in terms of what they're going to be able to do with, obviously the Chiefs going to be conservative with Mahomes in the ankle and the Eagles trying to run the ball game. I don't think this game is really going to be centered. I don't think it's going to be centered around the quarterback as much as, people may make it out to be. This might be a good opportunity to play. Go ahead.
I don't think the ankle means anything at this point, man. He's had a week off. Like, the game after he got his ankle injured. Yeah, he's got 2 weeks off. The week after he got his ankle injured, he went out there and it didn't even look that bad. So now you got 2 weeks.
He looked bad. He couldn't move in that pocket.
When the ankle got injured, he didn't look that bad.
He made that one play in the fourth quarter when it mattered the most. That big scramble for like 4 yards. The entire rest of the game.
And he won the game, right? And he won the game, right? So now you're telling me he got 2 weeks off. The ankle got to be better. I think the ankle is just as bad.
They have many dynamic plays. They weren't dynamic down the field passing the ball in that game, and that was because of Patrick Mahomes' ankle. So I'm talking about his ability to throw the ball from the pocket, and then also, his inability to scramble. So it's two things there. It's not just is he going to be able to run and make the play. Of course, it's a Super Bowl. He's going to make the play whenever he needs to in a fourth down big situation. But the routine balls from the pocket, the way they're going to get the ball down the field, the big plays, I don't think those chunk plays are coming in the air this week.
Okay. Yeah.
No, I mean, listen, this is not.
I don't know about that, bro.
Kansas City would definitely have to adjust the way they can't, those long passes. This is the number one, pass defense in the NFL and the Eagles. I talked about it, as far as the defense, the higher ranked defenses in Super Bowls have won 46 out of 56 times. So, but yeah, I got to like on the Eagles. Might be my best bet, but we'll see. It's a lot of props out there. So let's get into some. Let's get into some prop. This is the NFL Super Bowl prop episode. What's the line podcast? It's a lot of crazy ones out there. I guess we'll start with some regular degulars, but our
Do we
guy,
start at the top? MVP?
Super Bowl MVP,
Yeah, why not?
talk to me. What are you thinking right now?
Like I said, I think this is a good opportunity for a position player to get it. So I would play defensive guys. The edge rushers. So that would be Brandon Graham,
Yep.
Frank Clark, and Chris Jones. I would play him. And then offensively, I probably wouldn't play anybody on the Chiefs. And on the offense on the Eagles, I'd play Devontae Smith.
That's crazy. Since we're here, right? Devontae Smith plus 3,000, Brandon Graham plus 8,000, Frank Clark plus 10,000. That's what Rome's telling you.
Yep, and the reason I would play those is because I can play all of the. What's that? Go ahead.
How much you playing? How much you playing on that, bro?
I mean, you could play a unit apiece on those and still only have 3 units of exposure and still have a way to. I mean, you just named it 8,000. If you put $10 down, it's $800. You put $10 on all of them. Subtract $10 from $800 or $20 from $800. I mean, you're not tripping over that. So I think it's a very, if you want to be cute with it and try to, predict the game, you could do that. Lay 350 on Mahomes or whatever. But I'd rather play the long shots and just have multiple angles as opposed to going big on one guy.
Yeah, I agree there. Definitely for MVP. But
Defense.
I mean, you could do it by position as well. Like I see a defensive lineman is plus 2,500. Obviously,
Cooper Kupp last year when he won, he was plus 700. So I mean, that just gives you, a starting point as to what can cash and what is outrageous and what isn't.
I'm not agreeing with your Cooper Kupp one. That man, that white man was going crazy last year.
I mean, but he was plus 700 to win the MVP.
It's kind of crazy money because your man triple crowned it last year. So
I mean, let's speak about. Is there no? I know Rome said he doesn't want to do it, but is there any value on Kelce?
I think there is. Where is
Or
he?
the tight.
I'm not playing the Chiefs offensive player. So that's just me.
What are you seeing Kelce at, Sound Man?
1,200, bro.
Plus 1,200.
I mean, like, what the hell? We're saying that Cooper Kupp. You know what I'm saying?
How about that?
100 last year.
I think that's the line saying exactly what the line is saying. Cooper Kupp last year won at plus 700. We would expect Travis Kelce to be the only way that the Chiefs could win this game.
All right,
that was
the only way that the Rams won it. Like, pass the ball. When it came down to winning time, it was like, bro, y'all need to pass the ball to Cooper Kupp. And what did they do? They passed it to him. So I feel like the Chiefs in that situation, who you passing to? MBS? Kadarius Toney? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, I mean, I think
if it's time to win a football game, I'm passing it to Kelce. Like, what are we talking about, son? Like, what the hell?
At plus 1,200, it's worth the shot, too.
It's definitely worth the shot. So, you know what I'm saying? And that's way better odds than what the last year's MVP was. Like, what are we saying?
No, I definitely agree. I think
I don't want to play a Chiefs offensive player. That's just me being that. So that's probably.
I get it wrong, but our guy, the prop guy, does like Kelce. What is the over? Is it
over 9.5 targets?
Over 9.5 targets. So, I think that kind of coincides, right? I mean, the ball is going to be thrown his way, so we could see those seven receptions, 98 yards, maybe a touchdown or two, and that could definitely be an MVP.
I can see it going crazy. Like, who else am I throwing it to?
No, that's fair. So there is some value on Kelce to win MVP, despite Rome. But maybe Rome will sprinkle a little something on it.
AJ Brown.
1,200, I mean, it makes sense.
All right. Any these props are so all over the place. But Sound Man, what are you seeing right now? I know I sent out a sheet, so I guess we could go from there. Length of the national anthem over or under 121.5 seconds.
Yeah, we always do that one. They usually do it right at that. I'm not taking over on it. I wouldn't take it at all.
We had the rehearsal last year. So I mean, we had the cheat and it went under.
Yeah, traditionally, I feel like this one definitely goes under, but some people drag it. So it's really about the performer. I mean, I do have
last note. What's that last note?
Do we have maybe a dramatic performer? I don't know who's
Performing this year.
No idea.
You don't know?
I can tell you who's now performing. Another. Okay.
Let me
Shout out to Anita. God bless. All right, but yeah, I really don't know who's doing the national anthem, but I definitely lean under because I feel like that usually just goes under.
Give me a second. I'm about to.
A prop actually I want to talk about is Rihanna. So there's some I've heard whispers that it's going to start off with "What's My Name."
God,
Her performance is going to start off with "What's My Name."
I don't mean to stop you right now. This guy named Chris Stapleton is the guy who is singing the Super Bowl national anthem, bro. He's probably a country singer, and he's probably gonna play his guitar. So I have no idea how this is gonna, interface with the 121 seconds situation.
If we really some sharks, we could start looking up like the country singers at Super Bowls.
Right.
You know what I mean? Obviously they have a certain twang or whatever, it's how they sing, but that's some real sicko shit. But I mean, whatever. We might find some value there.
Bless you.
But one thing that I was definitely talking about is I've heard whispers that Rihanna is going to come out to the "Oh Nah Nah What's My Name." Okay, so
I've heard whispers.
But I'm hearing that she's not going to actually sing anything to it. It's just going to be sort of an intro thing. And the first song she's going to actually sing physically is "Bitch Better Have My Money." So if anybody's seeing some props out there for those songs, listen, that's what I'm hearing. I'm saying the actual like words that are going to come out of her mouth are going to
that the two props that I like that was on your sheet, right? You had a prop that said, will it be pyrotechnics? And that was plus 150. It's the Super Bowl. There's always going to be pyrotechnics. I don't know why that was there for plus 150. I like plus 150. And the second one that you had on your sheet was a football being a prop. And if you see anything, I mean, Rihanna's been like advertised as the performer for the Super Bowl for months at this point. But what was all of her merchandise showing? It was showing her hand holding a football. And they're still selling this merch to this day. So I feel like a Super Bowl is definitely going to be a football is going to be a prop. So I like the prop of her having a football out there, and the other one I said I like both of those.
I feel like that's actually some good shit though.
Bro, like all the merch is her hand in a football. So you're telling me that a football is not going to be a prop while she does the performance? It's going to be like at least 11 to 15 minutes of her going on, maybe 13 minutes. Obviously, just her, what we all heard. She's going to have a football out there. Give me that prop for sure. And pyrotechnics, come on. This is the Super Bowl. There's going to be some fireworks going on.
All right, another one I wanted to note for the prop guy. He likes Miles Sanders over 26.5 first half rushing yards. So you probably want to play that as well, prop guy.
That sounds good. Yep. And it all coincides with the under. Yep.
All right, there we go. Color of the Gatorade bag. Anybody got anything for me? I feel like we never get this right. I have no idea. Like,
I'm good.
Yeah, no doubt. Orange, blue.
I logged in on DraftKings today. They asked me the question, and I said green and yellow. So that's what I'm going for.
That's free for that?
Yeah, we got a guy over here that said orange. So, green, yellow, orange is what we're riding for.
I'm not mad at the orange. We were just touching on Rihanna, though, obviously performing at the Super Bowl. I gave out some props. So let's say like, will Rihanna wear sunglasses on stage? What are you feeling there, Soundman?
Nah, no sunglasses. Listen, the props that you know what I'm saying, like she's gonna have a football in her hand. There's gonna be pyrotechnics. Keith said he wanted to sprinkle a little bit on the butt cheeks being shown. So you know what I mean? That's what Keith said. You know what I'm saying? I'm just the messenger here.
Yes, it's just plus 120. I mean, I'm just saying, like, that's some value there.
It was cleavage, like, I believe cleavage would be shown as well. They had like a nipple be out, like, is it 2000? I don't know what year that shit was, but like, it's not that no more. Like, a nipple won't slip on NFL's premises at all. Like, this is Rock Nation. a Rock Nation woman. We're not doing all of that. So it's just like, what are we doing, man? But yeah. Give me the Rihanna props. The two props I like from Rihanna the most is pyrotechnics and the football being used as a prop. That's what I like the most.
This sound, man. That's what he's liking. All right, I really don't got nothing for the Rihanna props, really, honestly. The minus 300 though, and the red pink lipstick. Somebody might be knowing something, but just wanted to point that out.
They got hair color. I had nothing for that. I don't know what Rihanna. I haven't seen her since before she had the baby, so I don't even know what the hell is going on.
That's fair, but yeah, I don't have too much for Rihanna, but I definitely gave some energy today. But yeah, Keith said, listen, for a minus 160, never mind. I got nothing. I got nothing for Riri. I got nothing for it. But I guess let's get into some like actual plays that we like right now. Maybe not Rome. I'll start with me, Rome. I'm looking for the QBR for Mahomes. I believe, through the grapevine, it's over 90, probably like 95 and a half or so for the QBR over under for this game. Like I said, he hasn't performed great in these Super Bowls. Mahomes hasn't. So 71.8 QBR, I believe, in his first Super Bowl, and his second in a loss, about 56. So I'm probably going to look to fade him in the under on his QBR, especially going up against a historic sack defense and the Eagles. And even got like you throw in like a Ndamukong Suh to kind of spell somebody, like stuff like that. So I'm going to take I'm not sure. Yes, I'm going to take that QBR under for Mahomes. That'll definitely be a play for me. I'm going to give out the official number when I can find it. Sound, man, you got anything right now?
I really don't have much for this game, bro. I can't lie. Like the playoffs took me out, bro. Like I'm ready for September, bro. I have nothing for real. I'm not even gonna worry about the Super Bowl this year, bro. I really don't have much.
Look at Sound, man. Down and out, Sound, man. What is this? This is the Super Bowl prop show, bro.
I really don't have much.
All right, Rome, you got anything you like specifically as far as props or that you see?
Best bet on the Super Bowl is going to be the under. Whatever highest number you can get it at, but I like 51.
All right, Rome likes under the 51 total. You might get sneak out of 51 and a half near game time, but we'll see. But yeah, reminder, all three Andy Reid Super Bowl games have gone under the total, so they want to note that. But yeah, I'm going to give out actual plays. The Eagles on the money line, that's definitely going to be my best bet this week. And then I'm going to look for that actual prop for the Mahomes, and I'll give that out officially. But I want his under in his QBR, 95 and a half or so. I'll definitely take that under. Soundman, what do you got this week? Super Bowl prop episode, the finale. Talk to them.
As far as my favorite prop or some shit, like what we talking about?
Favorite prop, favorite play.
Favorite play? Shit, man. Give me like I said, give me the Rihanna. Plus 150 for the pyrotechnics. Plus 120 for the football prop, bro. She gonna do both of those.
I'm liking the plus money plays. So, all right. Soundman is on the Riri train. So and I'm Eagles in 95 and a half. I think you might be able to get higher on Mahomes. So I'll give out the official number. But Super Bowl prop episode and prop god again, once again, likes Travis Kelce over 9.5 targets, Miles Sanders over 26.5 first half rushing yards. And that is it for us, gentlemen. What a season 4. What's the Line podcast? I'll be doing some NBA. So if you guys ever got some real thoughts on the NBA or something, just drop me an audio message. But this is it.
Luka Doncic.
Yeah, Luka. See you all in September, NFL. This has been great. And let's get to some basketball on the other end.
This is